perfect girl for you.
Janice, I apologize to you if I don't seem real eager to jump into a forced, awkward, intimate situation that people like to call dating. I don't like the feeling. You're sitting there, you wonder, do I have food on my face? Am I eating? Am I talking too much? Are they talking enough? Am I interested? I'm not really interested. Should I play like I'm interested, but I'm not that interested? But I think she might be interested, but do I want to be interested? But now she's not interested. So now all of a sudden I'm starting to get interested.
You've heard it so many times from 20-somethings. Where are the men who really want relationships? Well, marriage rates are plummeting, dropping nearly 60% over the last 50 years. And now single men in their 20s are outpacing single women by a huge margin. Data from the Pew Research Center reveals that 63% of men ages 18 to 29 were single, compared to just 34% of women in the same age range. So why? Well, one attached 28-year-old man told the New York Post, "Dates feel more like job interviews now. The way dating is currently just makes me want to hook up locally with no stress, no strings attached. I'm unmotivated," he says, "to search for something serious for the time being." Another blamed COVID and the lockdown, saying it's just not as much fun anymore and that online dating takes too much work. I'd rather take all that effort out and put it toward my career. I'm also still very young. I don't feel the need to rush, especially if people don't act as naturally as they did before COVID. So what does this all mean for America and for society in general? Joining me now is Samantha Burns, dating coach and millennial love expert. Samantha, I hear this from so many of the young women I've had a chance to work with over the years. Why do you think now there's so much of a disparity between the sexes where these young men seem to stay in kind of a more infantilized state, into their 20s and even into their 30s and sometimes their 40s?
That's a great question. I think there's not just one clear answer. It's a multifactorial response here. So I think that absolutely some financial pieces come into play. A lot more people are going to college and graduate school, having student loans and debt, and taking a while to feel established in their career, maybe wanting to pay off some of that debt before they jump into a relationship. So I think that's one factor. People are getting married later in life after their 30s. Some of that Pew Research data does show that the percentage of people coupling up does increase significantly after age 30. So people are still getting married, having kids. It's just happening later in life. I also think that nowadays people, especially during the pandemic, sought out dating apps and just social media sites to create connections. So maybe they're having some of their emotional intimacy voids filled by having casual conversation on dating apps and on social media sites, but without feeling the pressure or need or motivation to get offline and meet in person, which is ultimately sad because
I want to ask about another aspect of this, and this is from a recent piece in Psychology Today by Dr. Greg Matos, who places blame in part for this problem with dating and marriage on pornography, and writing that data from the US, UK, and Australia and Italy suggests between 76 and 87% of 18 to 29-year-old men are consuming porn regularly. Faced with the choice between an energy-intensive, highly competitive dating environment and the low-effort rewards of porn, young men appear to be taking the path of least resistance. Samantha, I think this is a huge national crisis, and it is a destroyer of young relationships. I've heard it from so many people over the years, and I think it's exploded. I think that's right on the money, that commentary.
Yeah, I do think, there's like absolutely a porn problem here. And why would they be motivated to go out and spend money and put in the effort of courtship if they're not looking for a serious commitment, if they're just looking for casual dates or interaction or sex, to then put in the effort, the money, that courtship when they can, pleasure themselves for free at home? I think it is absolutely taking a toll. And also it's, pornography is so performative, and it can be causing a lot of just intimacy issues in the bedroom in real life because of that performative nature, and then going and dating and interacting with someone not in fantasy world, but in real life.
Samantha, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Drag
drag show for babies and their parents. Now, look, if adults want to go see a drag show, have at it. But I wish parents would think about the innocence of their children and leave them at home. I know babies like bouncy swings, but I'm not sure if this is the playmate they need or the one that was expected. And I doubt that when they talk about floor play, this is what they envisioned for the tots.
I mean, this is ridiculous. I thought this was kind of, when you first looked at it, I thought, oh, it's nice gymnastics. It's like baby and me gymnastics. But this is swing sets and all sorts of things.
Yeah, how did we go from romper room to humper room? I mean, I'm sorry. This is way out of line, Laura. They're sexualizing kids. They're politicizing them. But I blame these parents who, frankly, should be brought up on child abuse charges. I'm sorry. This is way over the line.
It's all about the parents,
Finally,
as usual.
It is.
Rapper Cardi B is part of a new celebrity endorsed meal promotion at McDonald's, but I understand that everyone's loving it.
Yeah, well, both Cardi B and her boyfriend Offset are part of the promotion. They have apparently set off some of the McDonald's owners. The Wall Street Journal reports that several McDonald's franchisees said that the artist's lyrics and lifestyles aren't aligned with the company's brand and could erode McDonald's family-friendly image. They're refusing to run the promotion. Whatever could they mean, Laura?
So I want you to park that Big Mac truck right in this little garage. In a bucket and a mop, put this wet and gushy. Give me everything you got, put this wet and gushy.
That's not exactly the special sauce people want to think about when they're ordering a Big Mac, Laura. I mean, look, these franchisees do have a gripe. I mean, there's something called the Golden Arches Code within McDonald's that prohibits them from partnering with musical acts associated with content that has offensive language in the lyrics. So they do have a point, and it does kind of erode the family-friendly image of the franchise.
We're a long way from the Hamburglar, and would you like fries with that? That's all I can say.